What's up, dudes and dudes to the internet? My name is Scythe, and we are finally back here with some more Trove on Xbox. Oh no! Hello, everybody. I hope that you can forgive me for the lack of console episodes. Generally speaking, there has been a lack of Trove episodes just because of all the different tutorials and different unboxing and blah, 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 all the different videos that I've been able to put out. But also, I've just been spending, obviously, hey, Cap, I see you hiding down there. He doesn't want me to spot him, but I did. I know that there's been a lot of stuff going on, and every time I do a PC episode, there's tons of people yelling at me to do console episodes and stuff. But on the PC, I ended up getting the Dreadnought Mark II mount. I bought it. I didn't, get it myself. I grinded, a lot of Shadow Towers, though, and still didn't get it. But anyways, who cares? That's completely random. Whatever. That's okay, because now we're finally back again for an Xbox episode, and hopefully the next one is going to be a PS4 one. Now, there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about today. More specifically, we're going to talk about the strongest melee class in the entire game, which pretty much is a duel between Candy Barbarian and the Neon Ninja, and I'm going to talk about why in a little bit. Each of the characters has their strengths and weaknesses, why I think that the Candy Barbarian is actually the strongest hitting melee class in the entire game, but why we obviously know he is completely outshined by the Neon Ninja, just like every class is. Seriously, except for in Shadow Towers. We'll talk about that as well. But also, I wanted to stop bombing the holes in front of me, you freak. Also, I just wanted to kind of talk about live streaming on console and why I haven't actually done that in quite some time, because recently I've been doing, a lot more live streaming, at least more than I usually do whenever I can, and lots of people are always screaming at me to do console live streams, and I just want to tell you that unfortunately, due to my setup, I can't really do that. I could, but it would mean no face cam. And that's kind of gross, as far as live streaming is concerned. Not to mention, on the console version of Trove, the reason I don't particularly care for live streaming is because I can very easily get overwhelmed, whereas with the PC, I just appear offline or go to Do Not Disturb and stuff. And yes, I could do that on console, but where's the fun in that? Console is a little bit of a different beast than the PC version, you know what I mean? But anyways, I don't want to get into why I'm not live streaming on the console or anything like that, because today's video is talking about the strongest melee character, which is the Candy Barbarian. He has the hardest hit in the entire game with his ultimate ability. He's also extremely useful in Shadow Towers, if not completely more useful than the Neon Ninja. However, for farming, the whole thing is that if you actually do have the gems to be able to get yourself a lot of crit hit and everything like that, also your class gem ability on the Neon Ninja, it's going to make it so that the Neon Ninja is the fastest farming class in the entire game, because the sheer amount of damage that you end up doing with the Shuriken is insane. And the biggest reason why is because you can use the Shuriken pretty much all the time. You don't really have that much of a cooldown, right? Whereas with the Candy Barb, most of what your damage is coming from is going to be your ult, but you can also right-click. Or right-click. On consoles, it's actually left trigger. On PC, it's right-clicking. But the thing that's kind of cool about the Barb is that if you actually build your character up to being strong enough, I think Captain Red mains the Barb, last I remember, but honestly speaking, it's been a long time since I've been able to see him in the crowd of people that's always attacking me. I'm pretty sure he's the Barb. I don't know. But in any case, you can get yourself strong enough that your right click will actually one-shot a U9 boss. Now, isn't that something? Because then you can just run into a dungeon, right click, it's all dead. And because of that as well, you don't necessarily have to build the Candy Barb for movement or for attack speed. You can actually build him just for movement speed. Yeah, very interesting and cool, isn't it? Just because of the fact that you don't have to have the attack speed, because unlike the Neon Ninja, where he kind of builds up his shurikens over time, you can just walk in and just do your spin attack and everything's dead. Not to mention just his ult in general. That thing's always going to do a lot of damage, but you can't cast it that often. Now, as far as farming is concerned, obviously you're going to go with the Neon Ninja if you actually have the gems and everything like that. Seriously, because why wouldn't you? The Neon Ninja is so much faster. He's the fastest class in the game for farming and stuff like that. Seriously. But As far as shadow towers are concerned, now this is where people end up getting a little bit crazy because the Neon Ninja he's still kind of useful in shadow towers, but the fact that the cursed skulls are not, like, they go invisible now means that the Neon Ninja cannot build his shuriken off of them, which was actually very useful for the character because you could actually use the cursed skulls to build up your shurikens, keep enemies locked over in a corner while everybody else is doing damage to them. But melee characters have seen, I mean, honestly speaking, they kind of got thrown to the wayside for shadow towers since the Eclipse update. Like, they're not very good. They kind of suck in shadow towers, unfortunately. You guys are completing the dungeons way too fast, but thanks for the leech. Now, Candy Barb, on the other hand, is still very useful in shadow towers, if not the most useful, especially for speed running and stuff like that, because as far as I know right now on the PC version, I'm not sure on the console version, but the way that people end up getting the purple name speed run on Daughter of the Moon, legit, and aren't using like cheats and exploits and junk like that, is just a full group of gunslingers and one Candy Barbarian. Why a Candy Barbarian, you ask? Well, it's not like he has to have PR or anything like that. He doesn't have to be powerful. All you gotta do is just stand around like an idiot, use your ultimate at the opportune time to give those gunslingers the attack speed that they deserve. And then everything dies, because Gunslinger is pretty much the strongest in Shadow Towers. While I did have a video talking about why the Fey Trickster is actually the strongest, hardest hitting character in the entire game, honestly speaking, I would argue that the Gunslinger is still a much better choice if you're going for a ranged character. Shadowhunter is great, you know, I just want to say that I do have my love for the Shadowhunter for sure. You know, he's always gonna be my boy, but can I even get it? What's going on? Okay, somehow we ended up out of the volcano. Whatever, fine. I do what I want. Whatever. Let's. In any case, the Shadowhunter, he doesn't really have the damage to commit to doing like Shadow Towers as much as any of the other characters. Now, with that said, you know, I don't want people to be sitting here going, well, does that mean I can't main the Shadowhunter anymore? Main whatever character you want. That's pretty much what Trove boils down to, is you have to play a character that you yourself enjoy, because otherwise you're going to end up getting very, very bored. Like the Pirate Captain, for example. Myself, personally, I don't really like him. I tested him out versus the Gunslinger. He doesn't keep up at all, most of all just because his turrets will target random enemies rather than the targets that you actually want. Now, he's very useful for the Shadow Tower bosses, like the Titan bosses themselves, and then that's the whole thing too, is just the Barb is still like always going to be very useful in Shadow Towers, not only just in like fighting the normal enemies and everything like that, but most of all just for that extra attack speed buff, right? But that's kind of the whole thing too, is you could also argue that in Ultra Towers, does he really keep up to another ranged character? Honestly speaking, not really, just because of the fact that you are not going to have survivability. It doesn't matter what you do. As any type of melee character in Shadow Towers, you're just gonna get your butt kicked. Let's go back to my beautiful Jub Jub Club, because I don't care about grinding. Like, seriously, I kind of want to focus here, and I'm being attacked by, like, everybody, which I can handle in the club world, because at least I don't have to worry about jumping out of a hole and rubber banding right back down. Yeah, I know. So, yeah, in closing, Candy Barb, should you main him? Is he a powerful character? Yes. Unlike the Fey Trickster, the Candy Barb is completely able to be a mained character, most of all because he's cool. He's very, very strong. Honestly speaking, out of all of the different characters, I would say that he is definitely one of my all-time favorite, just because he's very big and feels powerful, you know? Even his slow swings, which eventually, of course, are rectified by having attack speed on your gear, but you're not really going to have attack speed if you're strong enough to just end up doing your left click and just killing everything in the game. Or left trigger, I mean. I keep messing it up. Oh, look at that. Man, Captain Red's really done a good job here. Well, the other officers, too. They deserve credit for sure. But what the... How did you guys even get those boots? Those are animating trophies. See? They're disgusting. But Should you actually main him just because of that? Like, just because he's the strongest melee character in the game? No, you most certainly should not. Neo Ninja is still the fastest farmer in the game, but for myself personally, I played him long enough that I got way too bored of him, so we're just not even gonna bother with that character anymore. At least for a little bit. I still do use him for farming on the PC version. I can't really farm with the Neon Ninja on console at all. Even if I ended up having good gems, there is no way I would be able to do that with the frame rate that we got in this game. But in any case, let's see, what do we actually got for some boxes here? Is it just those two? Well, we got some legendary gem boxes, which of course are going to end up being useless. A chaos chest, which of course is also going to end up being useless and have nothing. And a new style. Gross. Did we actually even need that? Not necessarily. Anyways, let's destroy all of that. I should probably do some shadow towers so that I could end up actually getting myself a better looking mount rather than just the stupid brony. But I like the brony. There's something about this mount that's just really cool because he's kind of the same as the shadow tower boss. You know, that big gorilla? I call him Danky Kank because it's like a worse version of saying Donkey Kong. But the whole thing too is that that boss really should have gotten an overhaul. Am I right? Because with the Eclipse update, all of the enemies are like really, really cool. And then there's that old enemy from the beta. And he's just like, ew, get out of my face. What's going on with Gonda? Do we have two Gondas? Oh, there's Cap. Oh, is he maining the pirate? Maybe he's swapping his characters. I honestly don't really know. I don't really ask people what their main characters are very often. But I do think that that would be an interesting discussion for all of you that feel so inclined to actually leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what your favorite character is and why is your favorite character. Just because, you know, do you like this character because it's cool, because it's efficient? And I'm not talking about the Bard specifically. I'm just talking about any class in the entire game. You know, do you like the Fate Trickster? Do you like the Knight? The underdog that nobody likes because he's kind of gross, even though he's going to end up getting his buffs in the next big update. But in any case, I actually really appreciate how the crew right here is all kind of standing separated and we're in a circle. Thank you, that's awesome. Also with my weird bug feelers, I just want to say thank you all for being patient with me during this time because I've been having a very hard time trying to keep up to my videos just in general because we ended up having Canadian Thanksgiving and also lots and lots of stuff is going on behind the scenes with the channel. Excuse me, I breathed water down the wrong tube there. So on that note, thanks for watching. Very much appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe for my daily content. That's also going to build up loyalty points to my merch store. Links are in the description for that. And then I guess we'll also give away some stuff. So let's give away 5 Streamer Dream boxes. And I think I have one last Moonwing Dragon code. So act now. If you didn't do any of that other stuff that I just recommended, you know, again, that's just a recommendation for you to like, share, favorite, and subscribe. But all that I ask in order to actually win the prize is just that you like the video because it makes it show up in searches and then other people end up gaining an opportunity. And then you gotta leave a comment in the comment section down below and you'll get a good reply from my good pal Nintendo Gamer who's gonna let you know, hey dude, you won, here's how you pick it up. Have a fantastic day everybody, sayonara, and stay epic.